Hey guys, welcome back. The Spoiler Effect is back in action to help us become better communicators. I'm here to talk with you guys today about how to become an excellent conversationalist, in addition to my last video which talked about how to connect with people on an emotional level, to match someone's mood, to make a better connection with them, and to build rapport with that person. So let me tell you how today to do another simple trick that will make you an excellent conversationalist. I recently took one of my good friends out to a restaurant. I hadn't seen her in quite some time. We went to school together at Bemidji State University, and she graduated from there earlier than I did, so we kind of lost connection with each other for a few months. So one day, about a couple of weeks ago, I just said, hey, I'm going to call her up. I'm going to invite her out to dinner. We're going to have a good conversation. We're going to build the relationship up by doing that. So I invited her out, and we got there, and I wanted to make sure that she had a great time. I wanted to make sure that she was having fun so that she would keep wanting to hang out and be friends with me. Okay. So we sat down, and we started talking, and subsequently for the next 30 minutes, I talked about myself. I talked about my interests, my endeavors, because I thought that was the way I wanted to impress her, the way I wanted to, try to get her to connect her life with my life. She started fidgeting, she started not paying attention and looking disinterested in the conversation and being disengaged in general. So it wasn't working. I had to try another method, a more effective method, to keep her interested in the conversation. During this conversation, I was talking all about myself, right? The spotlight was on me. I wanted her to be interested in me by, making myself sound interesting. I tried to talk about my accomplishments, the things I was doing, the things that were going on in my life that were interesting, and just the hobbies that I had going on. But that wasn't working. So I needed to change my method, make it do a 180. So I was almost doing exactly the opposite. The reason why this person wasn't interested in the conversation is simply because of one reason. A reason so basic, so simple, so apparent, and tremendously important to perfecting the sometimes confusing art of conversation. To get people interested in us, all we have to do is become interested in them. Most people will happily share their lives with us if we just ask them, okay? If we ask people about themselves, they'll talk for hours and they'll love us for it. Be a good listener, always. Encourage people to talk about themselves. Write that down, guys. Memorize it and definitely practice it. So encourage people to talk about their interests and their accomplishments. Ask questions that people will enjoy answering. Okay. A wise man once said that many persons call a doctor when all they want is an audience. Remember something, guys. Remember that the people you're talking with are 100 times more interested in their needs and problems than they are interested in what your needs are and your issues, okay? A person's toothache is more important to them than a famine that kills 1 million people in China. In my past videos, I've talked a lot about the feeling of importance that people crave and desire. This feeling of importance is something that people rarely get enough of, and that they need and will do anything really to get at some points in their lives. So we're going to satisfy this unmet need by giving people our exclusive attention. We're going to focus on what they're saying when they talk, and we're going to affirm what they're saying by nodding our head, making eye contact and smiling. Simple, good listening skills like that will give people that respect that they want. Another thing that's so important is make sure that you're in the moment. Okay, what I mean by that is make sure that you're not in your head during the entire conversation, that you're not constantly trying to figure out what to say next, and that you're in the moment and very acutely concentrating on what the other person is saying, and making sure that you're just absorbing their words and letting them come, and that's what the main focus is, instead of is what I'm gonna say next gonna be funny or interesting or whatever. Just let the words come naturally. So after remembering this stuff, and after kind of thinking about Dale Carnegie's these principles that I'm teaching to you guys every so often, I did something differently with my friend at the restaurant. So the next half an hour, instead of focusing on myself and talking about myself like I had done previously in the first half an hour that I was with her, I put her in the spotlight, the limelight, the conversational limelight, and I focused the conversation on her. I asked her about herself. I asked her how her life was going, how her family and friends were, what her interests were lately, what anything new that she's been doing, how her work has been, stuff like that. And she opened up to me. She started smiling more, she became more interested in the conversation, and she was enthusiastic to talk to me. And I knew that she'd want to hang out again after that, and she did. And lastly, if you want to know how to make people shun you and laugh at you behind your back and even despise you, here's a great recipe. Talk incessantly about yourself and always interrupt people. People like this are intoxicated with their own egos and drunk in a misplaced sense of importance. You're better than that. We're better than that. I actually have a treat for you guys today. So this is my puppy who's chewing on my one of my shoes here. We just got her, and her name is Xena. Say hi, Xena. And she is a Springer Spaniel. And the great thing about dogs is that they're always listening and they're never talking, and that's why people like them so much. So until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching, and remember, become a better communicator, make more friends, be happier, and I'll talk with you soon.